Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy.
Fruit knife. I said, a fucking fruit knife? And I read it, and somebody's, it was like a boyfriend, girlfriend. He went over their house, and there was a knife next to the toilet, like an old regular knife, about that long. And they're like,
legit looking up on Facebook, it's a poop knife.
And they chomp up their shit, so it goes down the toilet. It's disgusting.
Kind of constipated, like, why
I know. It's like, I mean, that's some
I guess for the people that don't know how to break it off, do a courtesy flush.
I wonder what's the saying.
No, and then they chop it out. I was like,
it's legit called poop knife.
No, and then I found this the other day. I was going to send it to a friend of mine.
Who's that? First of all,
and then they expect guests to come to the house and live by your craziness. Like, no, not but you can do it for. I'll leave it in there for you. I'll leave it.
But now, if you have very bad plumbing in your house, or a sewer backup, or the septic tank has not been cleaned in a while, and you have somebody that comes and does what that person did, then yeah.
No.
I'm still not cutting up no shit.
No, now they got a plastic one you can buy.
Yeah, it was a plastic poop knife. That's what I saw.
The other one's just like, it was like an old, and they had it in the family for years.
Pineapples. So how does it get cleaned? Like you just.
As far as I'm concerned, they just chopped it up. No, I don't think they did anything. They just put it next to the thing. I'm like, that's the nastiest.
You can say word. Say word.
I'm trying to figure this out. Like,
I got me all tangled up. I was going.
I mean,
the whole time, yeah.
But we've had
other people.
We've had to burn
knife.
shit before, so
yeah.
But I'm not going to be in my own household. But you've had to do it with, like, I'm telling you, my son was so bad at it, you had to go in there with the plunger and break it up.
Okay, a plunger.
But I'm not using a poop knife. I'm using the plunger.
Hold up. So. I mean, how short is the butcher knife? Is it like you got
the one that they showed me, like that I was seeing on the article or whatever, it was like a knife about that long. And it had the old school wooden handle, but the blade was like kind of rusty because it'd been in the water.
No, I saw the plastic one.
But now they make them plastic. But this was like old school.
Like.
That's nasty. And I was like, they just chopped that shit up and they put it next to the toilet and still got shit on it. And I'm just like,
keep your septic clean. Just call the people.
Damn.
They got companies that do it for you.
I mean, I get it, but I'm like,
food knife. That's a gag gift. Like that's one you give somebody.
You know what? I need to invent.
But do you remember the little commercial with the squatter potter with whatever the little rainbow that was squatting making little ice cream?
Yeah, the unicorn.
It was the squat pot or squat whatever. You put your feet on
unicorn
it. All it ever put me in the mind of was how like the Iraqis and stuff used to squat, and we actually had signs up, no squatting. Like that shit was a legit thing because they squatted over the toilet.
Their porta-johns are different too.
It's more like a hole, right? Or just like on the.
It's a hole, but the door, like as soon as you open the door, the hole is right there. So how they squat how you medically supposed to.
They legit put their feet squat.
Like it's weird because I remember going in like
we get on the toilet and relax.
I was about to say, but how is somebody that's built like America's even able to do that? Because our shoulder, everything is wide.
Yeah.
Americans wouldn't work. That would not work.
Like I couldn't see somebody your size.
Man, they would have shit all over the place.
How it's supposed to be used. Just say that, like it was. Yeah, it's bad. Like
they're smaller people.
Especially at OP Delta when we had to do guard duty.
And the porta-johns.
The porta-johns, and you legit had one that was made specially for the Nationals because maybe
when I worked construction, them men.
Oh yeah.
They would legit like get in the canals and stuff and throw their little in water and clean and it was.
They didn't need no poop knife.
No, they did not need a poop knife. I promise you that.
I'm glad I had you a poop knife. I told somebody else about that and she said a poop what? I'm like,
I just saw it on Facebook like last night. I was like, the fuck is a poop knife? Like the little
I said it to my friend. I was like, she laughed about it. I was like, it's a poop knife.
Wow.
She was like, who?
I'm using it as a
I said, chop your shit up.
You said
you got to be extremely comfortable with shit.
What the heck is this? Poop knife.
No.
I don't know. I've been in a house where it gets backed up to where where your laundry drain goes.
That's the
plastic
through
that. And we had my dad made us clean it while I was so mad.
It's
so I have it.
We know people that's had to use
Is that what you seen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real poop knife.
Yes, and they got an example of how to use it.
Okay.
Chop, chop.
There's
I
a way
just
to
give me a
use it.
sword.
And there was an example of how to use it. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm not
They
doing
probably
it.
making a killing too.
Yeah, they
Somebody
making a
out there
killing.
buying it.
Somebody.
Well, I need to design a case to put it in.
A sheath.
I'm like,
A sheath for the shit knife.
Right.
I
A
got
sheath
the
for
problem.
the
You got
shit.
a poop knife? I got the cover for it.
Somebody would buy it. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
self-cleaning. So you slide through it.
All the way out. And there's a bag in there.
Oh,
Put that
my
bag,
God.
pull it out, and then throw the bag away. That's
That's
I'm
it right there.
We made bank on that. People buy them be like, yeah, you know how the knife
I
sharpeners
just had
are?
Are you gonna have a citrusy scent that takes away the smell?
It's going to be Febreze or like a citrus scent.
Yo.
Anything citrus.
Or lavender.
Citrus takes away.
I'm thinking like
no,
lavender.
hell no. You don't want to know some lavender shit.
Hey, shit. It's just it's like spraying that Lysol.
Hey, this is how that thing got. This is how they came up with that. Like, y'all be like shitting in the toilet and
You know
it
what?
won't go down.
Right.
And what was the old
Yeah.
school way to get the smell? Like the match?
I'm a
Yeah.
match burner.
There you go. So your shit sheath needs to be a match burner because it takes away the odor.
That could work. Let's see. You know, you got them knife sharpeners that are automatically. I'm gonna get like one of them that sparks a little bit and it lets out. Man, I'm on it. Mario, help me patent
Somebody need to make one.
We're gonna patent. I'm being a poop
I'm
knife
gonna
queen.
see how much they made up for.
Need a prototype.
Look, these are the kind of conversations y'all typically don't see. Lord have mercy. A shit sheath.
I seen it like a year ago.
You're gonna make it a shit sheath.
But they would use like an old school butcher knife, and I was going. I thought it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
What if somebody actually be like, you know what, this don't belong in the bathroom, and they bring it back to the
Oh!
You said an old school butcher knife.
Oh, it was. It had a wooden handle on it, and it had like ones my granny used to use.
Could you imagine somebody walking in and be like, oh, this don't belong in here. Let me take it back to and wash it and put it up. Fecal.
Yeah.
So, you remember the Poupon?
The what?
The Poupon. Afghanistan.
Oh, the cesspool?
The Poupon.
Yeah.
The Poupon.
They put it right beside the dog.
They actually had T-shirts marketed called the Poupon Cafe. Like it was legit and open. And I met the dude that created that. He was one of the engineers.
Why they put it beside the chow hall though? Like
They put it beside of everything. My building was right behind that
So
shit.
what does it do?
What is that?
It's
exactly what it,
or you use the bathroom?
Nah.
No, they used to from the porta johns and all the cleaning out.
Right.
The black water would come and get dumped in, and it would.
So that was like the
recycle
wastewater stuff comes in that place.
But they had to actually pump out the porta johns and the other locations.
That's where it went. Isn't that place?
Yeah, so it was the Poupon. And when I tell you to this day, we have a letter. The air, like they tested.
Don't that let out like gas?
Oh,
Like,
that's
gas.
I did some research on when the military leaves a location, they burn everything with jet fuel and all. It creates a black smoke. A lot of times they put it right beside where soldiers sleep or whatever.
Oh, we had the burn pit, partner.
We had a tower. We had a tower that they burned every single thing, and when the wind blows.
This how close our tower guard. This is our tower guard watching this open field that already ain't got shit going on with the little canal, and the burn pit was legit right beside us.
And you can smell it and everything.
Man, you was about to die.
What all burned?
And then on the other, everything.
They said like body parts.
Tires.
Everything.
When they said body parts, like when people are down, they throw it. I'm like,
no.
I see somebody saying like everything hazardous gets thrown. I'm like,
anything hazardous, yeah.
Yeah, but no, not body parts.
Acid,
no, if nobody came
that shit gets all over you, don't come on.
If nobody came and claimed the body, they was taking this shit and putting it outside the fence. Like that was it. No, wasn't nobody doing no cremations over that motherfucker that I know of.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
Because they had
that ain't our business.
Right.
Scraps in there. Like.
Yeah, that ain't our business. But we did toss in uniforms. We tossed in
Everything got burned. Computers.
Yeah.
I've seen everything. Computers.
Yeah, when you can burn
MRE, the MRE.
Like you can burn a computer. Like the jet fuel is that strong, we'll burn anything.
Listen,
that was a separate locate. Like
I need some jet.
we can't get into detail when it comes down to that. Just know that they.
I'm trying to prove. I'm trying to.
No, we can't. Well, there's some shit we can't talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. We can't talk about it. But they did it. They did have a burn pit where there was tires and it was trash, daily trash. They legit would you burnt it and you scraped it back.
They put it in.
And the smoke can blow either way.
Oh man, that smoke was everywhere. It's not like the bases were big.
Oh, wow.
So we was legit like that close. This is our tower. Fuck around and let that air come this way.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures and video.
And they wonder why our lungs and shit. But there's also locations where the Poupon was at. And there was only one location that had that Poupon. When it first launched or first stood up, I asked the dude that I accidentally met, the engineer flying in from Afghanistan one time. And this was my last deployment, number 6. And I was like, hey, what made you think? He's like, because it was supposed to be temporary. Of course, when 9/11 happened, everything was go, 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 go. You know, and he was like, everything is supposed to be built for temporary use. It just so happened expanded for decades. And instead of enclosing it, it was what it was. When I tell you they tested the sand and everything, the fecal matter was so high. And we slept around that stuff. That's why they're doing the burn pit and the other stuff now, trying to get veterans to, so it doesn't turn out to be an Agent Orange thing like the Vietnam veterans went through. They want us to.
I don't think it'd be just as bad, but it's bad. Like
jokers that was running 4 minutes per mile came back not being able to run at all. Like your lung capacity, it just depends on where you at, how close you was to it, your body,
you're breathing in heavier.
Man, between the fine dust, the pixie dust, and the sand, to burn pits.
That literally sounds like a whole different world. Like just if you ain't experienced it, it just sounds foreign, like an alien planet almost.
It's completely different. It is definitely different. It teaches you not only survival tactics, but again, we weren't the ones kicking in doors.
Teach you appreciate shit we have.
Appreciate gratitude. Like, so when we're standing in line, when we was talking about the veteran shift earlier. Mm-hmm. It's so much difference. And when you hearing people complain about, oh my God, they're out of coffee. Oh my God, they're out of. Well, I would bitch about being out of coffee too. But it's the little shit. Instead of just like, bruh, it's okay, suck it up, like get something else, whatever. But you hear people come that shit with the toilet paper when the pandemic hit.
I still don't understand.
I don't. Look, I had family members that had so much after it was over. They had more toilet paper than they ever used, and they like just rooms of it. I'm like, why did y'all even go buy this? And now you
monkey see, monkey do. Yeah. That's all it was. I walked in there. I didn't realize we was going into shutdown because I hadn't been paying attention. Mm-hmm. And I went to Walmart, and this lady had like carts, and she just pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling.
People fighting over tissue.
And I looked at dude, but this was before we was even going into. We hadn't even brought up. This was like February. It wasn't March is when it really hit. Yeah, when it really hit. But people were going in and hoarding and doing this, that, and third. And I'm like, I said, did I miss the fucking memo? And I was standing at the front of Walmart doors. Right. Like, what did I miss? And the dude that worked there was like, obviously I missed the fucking memos too, because they some fucking idiots around here. And and this was an employee. He said this had been going on day in and day out.
I guess from where I come from, that's the last thing I would worry about.
That's my thought. I survived. I used a damn old t-shirt.
And we grew up using bathroom in a bucket.
Yep.
From the time I was born until 6th grade when we moved to Smyrna.
Yeah.
That was all.
They was dumping buckets
in a room, and we was using it. You got to go in the backyard and dump it, and we were burning on weekends.
Yep.
That's how I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So to go with that, we just take some newspaper and ball up till it gets soft. Yeah. That's your tip. Then you wash yourself up.
You better get the right kind of leaf out there in the back.
That's crazy.
That's
still silly to this day. Like, there had to be some kind of experiment. I know it had to be. It does. As much as I've tried to make that make sense,
it's hard. And then I heard
you can't make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
It's the same thing with gasoline.
Like, he grew up, they had an outhouse, so he was the first person outside of my family that I knew grew up like that. So
my mom.
And I felt it made me feel a little more normal.
Right.
We grew up there. We never invited anybody to come stay with us if you wasn't family. Yeah. Because we was embarrassed. And then when the school did find out, people actually, our cousins went and told. And so now that's how we learned how to join and fight. Because if you start talking about it, we would just beat you up. It was a lot of us too. Right. There was a lot of cousins.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, if you talk about it, you're just gonna get beat up, basically. Right. But yeah, I remember them days. So toilet paper and the laptop, like, man, like, okay.
I know, I didn't bother me. I'm like, I'm good.
Okay.
My mom was like,
I wonder how the people feel that loaded up on it. Like, how do you feel now? Like, what did you do it for? Like,
I guess the silver lining would be they ain't got to buy none for a while.
Still, like,
you left people, and that's the same thing with the
survival
gasoline.
mode. Toilet paper is the last thing I'm worried about.
I mean, that's the same thing with milk and bread. Bitch, that shit only lasts about a week.
I was about to say that. Even with the
there's an expiration date.
You know, if you keep bottled water so long, the water starts tasting like the plastic.
Yeah,
because the plastic period. Yeah,
you got all this water that you.
Trust me, we know.
Oh man,
really?
Our water used to sit in fucking 140-degree weather.
The plastic and stuff.
Man.
Do you remember that one time we came and took away
big ass bottles too? They wasn't no normal size.
Big liter joints.
And all it was the Iraqi water, but it was the canal water that our dogs, water. We have water dogs. Yeah. They were purifying the water and bottling this water, and you got used to it, put it that way. You had to drink water.
Yeah, even water that's been sitting in a truck, like the sun hitting it.
But you was asking, do I remember what?
When we first got to Kuwait, and they marched us down, we was doing something, they was briefing us, and they had us march to the cases, and they made everybody drink that hot water. It was like, y'all gotta drink the water. And it was just like, man.
It had been sitting out in 130, 140.
Ain't no telling how long. Like, they leave it out there by the day.
It sits out, and you would be trying to grab it by the cases. You would. Because if it runs out, you assed out, and you in the middle of the desert.
Oh, wow.
But it's not like they ever really had a shortage. But being on a remote location in Ramadi, we did have to kind of wait. You would try to stockpile this stuff the best you could, because Ramadi was...
That's crazy.
Small.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
No. I mean, but you appreciate it more. So when you see people fuss and cuss and fight over the smallest things, it's like...
That's me. I was like, it's fucking toilet paper. I was like...
It's not even just the toilet paper. People complain about the most minute thing, and it's just like, bro, figure it out. We figured it out. We molded, we adapted, we did what we had to do to survive. No, we weren't the ones kicking indoors and doing nothing else, but hey, I had a few situations. Somebody got mad at me when they found out I was a gunner, but you figure ways out. You do what you have to do with what you have. Mm-hmm. That's why I always say it's not where you live, it's how you live. And that's the truth. Like, whether you're in the military deployed somewhere and it does teach you, if you didn't have a shock before, a culture shock before of having everything ripped away from you, and here's this, you might get a box of Girl Scout cookies from the chaplain one day or whatever. Shout out to the Girl Scouts, because they used to send us stuff all the time. But
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, because when you order Girl Scout cookies, you have the choice to order extra boxes to send to the troops overseas. So
and some people do that.
Man, you would get tired of freaking Girl Scout cookies after a while.
They're selling them right now, aren't they?
Yeah. And I just bought.
I need some tag-alongs.
I just bought some from Marquel's daughter. I'll get you the link.
I need some. Did you order them online?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They got mailed to my house.
They'll be at their Walmart soon when it start warming up.
The Kroger, they're always out there.
Yeah.
But you do have to.
How much are they box now? 6?
5. Still the same.
They went up, didn't it? I thought the thing was like $3.50.
No.
Really?
It went up, yeah. I thought
we always got them for free, so it didn't matter.
I know, it's been a while since I got some, but damn.
We always got them for free.
Tag on. God.
Shout out to the Girl Scouts. No, they got.
Well, you know, Dollar General had their own little brand.
Who?
Dollar General. Girl Scout brand.
On the dollar aisle.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheHershytShow. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.
Subscribe to The HERshyt Show on YouTube and Facebook. Support by purchasing merchandise at www.8robinsons.com.